Hello everybody, good morning. Today I want to show you I'm remounting a mid-mount transmission brace on the 66 Ghia. I did put a new gearbox in. On the old one I did use this brace. These braces help during a pretty hard or solid launch. As you start developing some power with your car, you can kind of start twisting, or I guess you'd say it drops the transmission down, a force down. This thing's going to mount, trying to reach them both. It's going to come in on those bolts right there, and it presses up against the horn. You can see I've also beefed up that front mount on the nose cone there as a rhino mount, and then on the side here you can see these are rhino mounts as well. So let's get this back in to the car, and I'll just take some pics and talk along the way. Here we are under the car looking at the transmission, and there are, I think, 5 or 6 of these nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there's another one on the other side. 5. These need to be loosened. You can see they're double nutted right now, which means there's a longer stud than stock. That stud that is longer will compensate for the thickness of this, which is nice. On my other transmission, the studs were short. I had to double nut them, back them out, get longer studs, and put them back in to make enough room to clear this thing. So this one came with it. This is a performance transmission. It's got a differential in it, or I guess you'd say a full locking diff, hardened gears. This thing should handle pretty much unlimited power. It does have stock gear ratios, but this is designed for the 1915 and the subsequent 2165 build that'll start shortly. So let me loosen up those nuts and see if we can get a test fit on there. Took the 4 nuts off that are going to hold this in on those studs, and it did slide on with a little bit of a friction fit between these red urethane pads on either side. Now you can tighten and loosen these. When you tighten them, it actually sucks the pad down and gives you more clearance. So what I'm going to do is, once I get this mounted, I'm actually going to loosen these a little, let it flex back up and press up against the horn here, and then I can lock it in with this nut. But it did slide in nicely. It is sitting flush, and as you can kind of envision here, if you did a hard launch or a hard acceleration, this the trans tends to shift. I can't remember if it's dropped down or shoot up. I think it's up. So yeah, it is up. So it actually braces it up against then the horns, so you're not going up and then ripping that front nose cone mount out. So I'll go ahead and tighten these bolts up. But what I did find a little tricky to fit this on the first, I had to do a little bit of manipulation or shaping of the metal. This, I believe, is an MP product. MP products, as I've said in my other videos, are maybe hit or miss. I've had pretty good luck. This one took a little massaging. The bolt holes, I don't want to take it off because I got it on there pretty solid. The bolt holes I had to hit with a rat tail file or a Dremel tool to kind of oval them out just a little bit so I could clear it. They were a little off or misaligned. But other than that, it does fit well. It's got a nice zinc coating on it, and for the money, I believe it was maybe 35 bucks or something. It wasn't too expensive. This gets the job done, and you have to have this. If you're going over stock and you plan on driving it a bit aggressively, and if you have wider than normal tires so you're getting better traction, that of course puts a lot of stress on various components of the car. So this is I'd say a must-have. You should probably just put one of these in any bug that rides anything more powerful than a 1600 or a stocker motor. When you start getting above that 50 horsepower mark, I think you got to really reinforce some things on here. So I'll get this thing buttoned up. Hope this was helpful and or interesting to the VW heads out there. Thanks, guys.